This week, we head to New Zealand to uncover the details about the mysterious death of Claire Elizabeth Hills. This case will have you asking, why is it still unsolved after 25 years when there is more than just DNA evidence available? Okay, let's go. Claire Elizabeth Hills was born in England but would move to Australia with her family at the age of 2.
I thought you said New Zealand.
Yeah.
Just you wait, sunshine.
No. They would live in a hostel for around 5 months before purchasing a home and settling in Wollongong, Sydney. Claire came from a rather big family, being the third child of 6 siblings.
Third child of 6 siblings. I've been to Wollongong.
Why you been to Wollongong?
Oh, it was actually when I was in church still.
Oh, let's not talk about that. No. By age 15, she would leave her family home to move in with her boyfriend before heading to Auckland.
Auckland?
That's not even the word that I can't pronounce.
Oh, shit. The
shit.
Auckland's the, white word.
Yeah, it's a white word and I couldn't even get it. To Auckland. Fuck, boy. Right. By age 15, she would leave her family home to move in with her boyfriend before heading to Auckland, New Zealand. In 1985 with a fake passport.
Fake passport?
Yeah, using the name Lisa.
Do you want to know a fun fact about New Zealand?
Yeah.
Maybe I've told you this before.
Yeah.
So, do you know that it was the Dutch who named New Zealand?
Yeah, it's the white word, hey, New Zealand.
It's the Dutch word. Well, because there's
Dutch.
a place in Holland called Zeelandia.
Yeah.
And it was originally like New Zealandia, and it was New Zealand, which is funny because we don't really have a lot of Dutch influence in New Zealand. And we're colonised by the British, so...
Figure that one out. She would also continue to use that name whilst in New Zealand, although I could not find anything to say that she had legally changed her name to this. So I'm just going to go with the name Claire.
I mean, it makes sense. It's her actual
Yeah.
given name.
Yeah. It's hard to find info on this case. Like, there's not a lot of information. Couldn't find legally, so there it is. By age 21, she would become a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, a Joho.
Joho. And marry a man by the name of Peter Hills.
So now she's Lisa Hills.
Yes. Or Claire Hills. We don't know. A quote from one of Claire's sisters said that she seemed rather happy with her life in New Zealand. It seemed like she wasn't very close with her family, as her siblings would only hear from her randomly and she didn't share a lot of details about her life with them. So I don't know if there's a bit of a history there that just didn't come out. I know it's weird to me that you don't share stuff with your family and you move to a different country, and change your name.
Well, okay. Because I was like, well, when I was 17, I left New Zealand and I came to Australia without my family.
But you told them what you were doing.
Well, yeah, Mum bought me the ticket.
Yeah. So, she hardly shared any of her.
But I also had a real passport.
Her marriage would end up falling apart and she'd moved to an apartment in Herne Bay by around 29 years old. Although we do not know her exact movements on April 28th, 1998, we know that Claire was very organised, had a set routine, and was very security conscious. And by this time, she was 30 years old.
If I had gained illegal entry into a country, I would be looking over my shoulder every single day, waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me.
Very weird. She was currently working at McDonald's as a manager at the Auckland airport. She hated working the morning shift, which started at 3:30 a.m. And I used to work at Macca's and did the overnight shift, which was 10 till 5. And that 2, 3, 4 a.m. mark was absolute hell. So I could not imagine starting that time every day.
Why was it hell? Because it was boring.
It was quiet, you started to feel dirty, and you're getting close to that changeover from dinner to breakfast. So you're starting to have to clean everything and get everything ready for that whole menu change.
Ew.
It just felt gross. It was disgusting. So yes, hated working the morning shift. She'd always ensure that she had enough time to get ready and that her car was always full so that she didn't have to stop anywhere in the early morning. It was interesting as well because there were reports that a friend stated she was going to resign that day. So she was talking to a co-worker the night before and was kind of like, oh, I'm going to quit. So yeah, I don't know, just a little detail I put in there. Police would also note that her apartment was tidy with no notice of any altercations or anything out of the ordinary. Claire's alarm went off at 2:30 a.m. on April 28th, 1998. She was due to start work at 3:30, as we said earlier, and it would take her about half an hour to get to her work. The drive was around 28 kilometres or 17 miles from her flat in Herne Bay.
That's a big drive in New Zealand.
I was thinking that, yeah, because I was like,
every day.
yeah, 28 k's. But maybe because she's from Australia, so that's not far.
Yeah, but I think she'd been living in New Zealand for a long time, though. She would have been at a point where she would have acclimated to that kind of shit, I reckon.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
So weird.
It's weird.
Do you not think it's weird?
That's weird.
So weird.
It's weird.
It just is what it is.
Oh my god, that's weird.
Yeah.
She would walk down a short flight of stairs to her basement car park, hop into her black Mazda hatchback, and head to work. Unfortunately, she would not make it to her 3:30 a.m. shift. At 5:45 a.m., a witness would be walking her usual path on, I'm going to want to say Mungaray, and it's not Mungaray.
Mungary.
Yeah, I'm not even trying that again.
Mangary.
Mungaray. I can't do...
Mundungus Fletcher.
Yeah, Mundungus Fletcher.
Mungary.
Domain when she reached the car park of the Onehunga
Mungare Football Club.
Thank you. I can't. I'm the worst. I need to get out of New Zealand because I can't pronounce the names.
Oh, I don't know. I've heard you say some Australian ones pretty interestingly too, mate.
Haven't I? Oh no.
And English ones.
Oh god.
We're just fucked.
I'm just bogan as fuck.
No, I like it.
So yes, she's at this football club. She noticed a flash followed by flames. Quick pause.
Mungare.
Mountain is a volcanic cone in
Mungare.
New Zealand, located within the
Mungare.
domain. It is one of the largest volcanic cones in the Auckland volcanic field, with a peak of 106 metres or 348 feet above sea level. Unpause. Peering forward, she saw a small black car go up in flames and a man standing beside it.
Who saw this?
The witness.
Oh, there's a
because I
witness.
paused and then
Oh, you
unpaused it, yeah, just to confuse yous all. This would creep me the frick out, but he turned and ran straight towards her and was almost startled to see her there. He stopped, caught her eye, and then locked eyes, and then ran off in the opposite direction towards the sporting fields.
I would have run him over.
Oh, well, she's on a walk, isn't she?
I would have run him over.
I would have run him over.
I'll say it again.
I would have.
I would have run him over.
That would just freak me out. Like, you see a car go up in flames, see a man beside it, he kind of comes running down, sees you, and then runs off the other way. No, thank you. The woman didn't investigate the car, and to be honest, I do not think I would go close, like doing this podcast. I'm curious, but being in the moment, I do not think I would get close enough to see if anyone was in there. If it goes up in flames. What about you, Darl?
I think I would.
You would?
I think I would. But
Burning people.
I know, but if there's a chance that I know it's so gross because I'm a Scorpio and I want everyone to die, but I'm just like, if push came to shove and I was actually in that situation where I could save a life, I reckon I would at least try.
Yeah.
Like, if I looked in and the person was not moving and they were just burning, I would just call it in.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't use my mobile phone. I would go to a local person's house. Call 111.
But yes, I digress. I don't think I could do it. I think I'd bitch out. As you said, she would quickly head back home to get in contact with the police because, hello, 1998. Yes, year of the Nokia, but not many people had them.
Because we're poor and it's New Zealand.
Yeah, and it's just come out.
They had,
She came across a man in his driveway and would tell him about the fire, and the man would run inside to call 111. And I was going to say this before, I did not know that was the New Zealand emergency line. Here it's 000, but 111 in NZ, and then 911 in the Americas.
It's true. Do you know what's really funny about it? New Zealand is, over here, we definitely say 000.
Mm-hmm.
In New Zealand, they say 111. Literally, 111.
So like we say it quickly to like 111. We go 111. Call 111. 111.
Yeah.
That's like 000. 000.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in New Zealand, they'd be like, call the police. They wouldn't be like, call 111.
Yeah. Okay.
In America, they're like, call 911. No,
Yeah.
bitch, call the cops.
Call the popo. It would take about half an hour for emergency services to reach the vehicle, and the officer who took the
Emergency services, 30 minutes. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Well, the officer who took the call would unfortunately not issue fire services.
For a burning car?
Yeah. So it would take another call for firefighters to be dispatched to the mountain.
Oh, Jesus.
Once the flames were under control, firefighters would stumble upon a woman's charred body in the car. Her hands were bound behind her back, and police would be called in for homicide investigation. The body was found in the fetal position in the rear seat of the car. The passenger seat was lowered. Her legs were over the passenger side of the car, and she was found laying on her right side. She was extremely burnt, with most of the burns around the lower part of her body, and police found that there was an accelerant that was used, as petrol was found in the car and poured over her body as well. A post-mortem examination would find that the body was Claire Hill's and that she had been sexually assaulted before she passed. And they even found the DNA of her killer on her body.
How is there DNA on her body? Do they mean...
We don't actually know, so police have never released.
But that to me is just really strange.
Mm-hmm.
This is not another case of them doctoring the bullet that they found in the yard, but this time because it's the New Zealand police again.
No. These ones are, these gores are very good. They also found that she was alive when the car was set alight due to her lungs being damaged and shown signs of smoke inhalation. She had multiple fractures to her skull and the bones around her throat. She had been tied up with her own pantyhose. Her official cause of death was listed as carbon monoxide poisoning. But as I said earlier, a witness saw a man near the vehicle and then ran away from the car. Police would end up finding 3 other witnesses who were able to describe the man in similar descriptions near the fire. A jogger saw a man running away near the scene. A taxi driver noted that a man ran out on the motorway in front of his car, and another motorist saw a man walking to the shops near the
Mangere
bridge. From the witness descriptions, a sketch was created and released. So they're getting all this stuff together. They've got DNA and descriptions, and this is still unsolved.
Okay, let me get this right. They have DNA, but DNA does not mean squat at the beginning if there's no DNA to match it against, right? So maybe he's not in any database yet, but it means that they would at least have it on file. They could then find this person who looks or fits this description, get their DNA, test it, confirm.
Boom, case solved. There you go.
But that's not what happens.
So as you said before with the DNA part, so police found DNA on the body, however, they have never said what the DNA was and where it was found on the body. Yeah, I guess one of those wanting to keep some information hidden. So they've never released it, even to this day.
It makes sense. You do hear stories about them not wanting to give too much information away so that when they do find someone that comes up with credible information that wasn't released to the public, then it's kind of undeniable.
Police would start to speak to those close to Claire and the men in her life, even taking samples from them to try and find some possible suspects. They would, of course, look to the husband, but he was cleared, and police really could not find anyone. So this man has just disappeared. Even though they had the DNA and a sketch of this guy, nothing seemed to come of it. In 2008, forensics were able to create a DNA profile on the killer, which was run through the database to see if it matched any profiles on there. Unfortunately, there have been no matches, and police even shared that they have done DNA testing on close to 300 people.
In relation to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Later on down the track, they would even search the Australian DNA databank and found nothing. Because it's like, they do have a few theories, and honestly, this case actually blows my mind that there is DNA evidence, witnesses, and a sketch, yet still have not caught anyone for this murder. So the theories from officers are that 1, the person may not have committed any other crimes, but they highly doubt that because... hello, kidnapped, tied up, raped, set alight. Like, that's pretty...
It's a very deliberate crime that they've done. And if it is your first crime, like, that's very aggressive.
Yeah, and
for
seems
like your first one.
Planned out because you've had petrol. And if the guy was running from the scene, it's not like he had his car close by. How did he get in the car with her?
It could have been like half planned. Like maybe he didn't plan it to be her because he didn't know who it was going to be. But maybe he had planned to do a thing. It's just the victim was the only variable. Whoever was going to stop for me and help me, maybe.
The second is that the killer has died, or the third is they left the country, which to me seems a little bit more likely. But it also Also, again, the crime, it's just so odd. This case is rather well known in New Zealand, with heaps of people having many theories, and there was a lot of mention around the first responders in this case, and if the officer who took the 111 call initially sent out the fireys, would Claire still be alive? Would they have found some more evidence at the scene, as they would have gotten there quickly to put out the fire? The biggest thing for me, though, as well, is the window of time from around that 2:30 a.m. to when her car was found at the mountain, which is unaccounted for. They have no idea if she stopped anywhere, even though that would have been out of the ordinary. And with the mention of her being very security conscious, I don't think she would stop for someone. So, like, how did this guy...
If a characteristic of hers was that she is security conscious, then it's only going to be one of two things. One, he caught her off guard somehow, or two, she knew him.
And to me as well, with the petrol can as the accelerant, did she go out of the ordinary that day and stop at a servo?
Or did she see this dude walking just along the road with a petrol can thing? Did he flag her down and be like, my car's like up the road, I just need to get to my car because I've run out of petrol. Can you please give me a lift? Like, if he was running in front of cars on the motorway, then he's going to jump in front of her car. Like, he's not going to be scared of that.
Yeah, this is true. The weirdest thing is such a horrific crime like that. You think they would have gone on to do more. Like, there's got to be more...
with other people?
Yeah, like, there's got to be more victims or something. Like, how is there no profile on this guy? There was talk that there was a guy that was running around raping women, and I don't know if he killed anyone, but they thought it was him for a little while because he got caught, but then obviously the DNA didn't match and that kind of thing.
Well, they'd have his on file to match it against. So.
Exactly. So they thought it was him at first, but this happened in 1998. It's 2023 and we still have nothing.
Yeah.
Police are convinced that someone or a group of people out there know what happened to Claire and know the person who was behind the murder. They still hope that someone will come forward with some information, as they are committed to closing this case. I know we have some Kiwi listeners out there, so if you have any information about this case, please contact the police on 0800 OP Hills or Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. So yeah, a bit of a short case today, dear mung beans, but that was the mysterious death of Claire Elizabeth Hills.
So, ka pai, kia ora koutou tamariki mā.
Yep.
Teko mimi teko.
Kia ora. Yeah, there you go. No.
Kia ora.
I've got nothing.
Kia ora.
Shut up. Kia ora.
Kia ora. And ka kite anu, and we will see you next time.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Tofa soifua. That was Samoan.